I think there are a couple of things that benefit you from having your power come from a municipal public power agency like PWC. And first and foremost is it's run by people in your town for your benefit. It is not a for-profit organization where it is run for the benefit of the shareholders. When it comes to things like keeping the system reliable, keeping the capital investments up that are necessary to prevent huge breakdowns, that's something that is more easily done, I think, from our model than from the for-profit model, because we don't have to make sure that we keep getting the return on investment to our investors. That's critical. And then the second thing about it is people in your area know you. I can just tell you, in my role as a commissioner and the couple of times that I was the chairman of the commission, we happened to have certain things that came up in the community, a hurricane, an attempt to purchase the utility, and there were plenty of people in town that knew my name and phone number and were able to reach out to me. And I think that is one of the things that gives you a real benefit. That local feel and that local desire to keep the people that you live with secure and happy is what I think is a great asset for being a public power utility. Well, I think the big reason that local leadership matters is because when you're out and about in the community, you better do a good job or you're definitely going to hear about it. You know, it is very disconcerting to hear people say they're unhappy with something you've done. But let me tell you what, when people tell you thanks because of a job well done, it just means so much. And I think it helps you want to do even better for them the next time around. Well, I have to be honest, when I first got appointed to the commission, I came not because it was something that I was wanting to do. I was asked to do it by a member of council to apply for the position to come. And it really wasn't high up on my list. It certainly wasn't on my bucket list of things to do. But after spending 8 years here with this organization, I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. I've had an opportunity to work with a great group of people who love their organization but love their community. And then on top of that, I got to do some things that I think really helped the community. I think I did some things that really helped the city of Fayetteville. This is just one fantastic organization filled with people who really care. When they had the Big Bang annexation and we were having to put all of this sewer out into streets, and the city and the utility had come to an agreement that the utility would pay for what's called a permanent patch, the quilt work looking things that you see on the road where they kind of squiggle around. And they said, we'll pay to put a permanent patch in. If the city wanted to do an overlay over the road, then we would put in a temporary patch, which would cost less than the permanent patch, but we would credit the additional amount for the permanent patch to the city to help offset the cost of the overlay. The city had a lot of other things going on too, and even with that, it was still a stretch on their budget to be able to do the overlays. And so as a commissioner, I brought it to the other commissioners and said, you know what, these are our customers. And yeah, we don't have to put in an overlay, but why don't we find out just how much more it will cost us to do it, and how would that impact the bills? And then I went to a couple of civic organizations, said, if your utility bill went up or your sewer bill went up a little bit, because you got to cover your costs, but if it went up a little bit, but you had roads that weren't patchwork quilts but were actually fully overlaid, would you be willing to pay a little bit more for that? And resounding information I got from Murray was, yeah, that's what we'd like to do. So the commission decided to take it on ourselves to go ahead and do overlays instead of that patchwork quilt. And I think that does a couple things. First of all, your car doesn't like to run over rough roads. It doesn't do good for them, so that costs a customer money. And then the second thing is, a lot of people, when they're looking to bring businesses into town, they look for a couple of things, and one is the status of what your roads are like. So if we had better roads, it could help us with economic development. And so that's one of the things that we did that took something off the city's plate that would have been millions and millions of dollars that we were able to do. And I'm pretty proud of that. Anytime somebody looks at their power bill or their sewer bill or their water bill or whatever, and they look at it and they say, daggone, that's a lot. I don't want to pay more. This is the thing about public power. At least I can tell you this is what it is for PWC. And I can tell you this for having been here 8 years. Every opportunity we've had to lower rates, we've done it. Every opportunity where we've been able to hold down how much a rate increase would be, we've done it. But the fact of the matter is, if we don't take in enough money to keep the system operating properly, I don't care how much money you got. If your electricity won't come on, your water won't come out of the faucet, or it's dirty, or your sewer backs up, you'll start saying, wait a minute, what's there? And I was, a matter of fact, just having a conversation about some of the things that are coming down the pike. And I'm just telling you right now, there are going to be new regulations about compounds in rivers and stuff that's going to have to be taken out. And you know what? It costs a lot of money. But here's my question to anybody. If you're considering, oh my gosh, they're going to have to raise the rates for this, here's my question. Would you rather have your rates go up? Let's just pick a number out of it. Let's say it went up $5 a month, which I think is way higher than it would be. Would you rather pay the $5 a month, or would you remember a place called Flint and have water you can't drink? That's what public utility does for you. We look out for that kind of stuff. We are keeping your rates down. And if you look at PwC's rates compared to the rest of North Carolina, and I don't care whether it's in water, sewer, or electric. In electric, it's down near the bottom. In water and sewer, we're not at the lowest, but we're certainly much more competitive than a lot of other places in the state of North Carolina. And we're giving you good, clean drinking water, and the power is coming on when it's supposed to be on. I would just like to ask the community that gets its services from Fayetteville PwC to realize what a treasure you have in this city. And I will tell you, before I came here, I was a city council member. And from a political look, I was looking at it, and there were some things that I thought, oh my goodness, I wish they would do it differently. But when I got over here, I said, I'm glad they weren't doing it differently the way I wanted to do it first. But we did make some changes. And that's what I'm really proud of. We made changes that made PwC a better organization to serve our city better. And I think that what we've been able to do over the last 8 years has been to foster a better working relationship between the utility and the city that is helping not only our customers, but is helping the city as a whole.